Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our briefing. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for being patient. A lot of things going on in the city, lots to talk about today, so we're going to try and do that as expeditiously as possible. Today we're going to hear from public health, we're going to hear from engineering, and we're going to hear from planning. And then, boy, do I have a lot of announcements to share with you all. I want to remind us that it is both Asian Pacific Islander American Heritage Month and Jewish American Heritage Month. And our fantastic public libraries are always a great resource if you want to learn more about anyone's heritage, but particularly they do a great job of curating books and making information available as these months roll along. All right, we're going to jump right to it. We're going to start with Julia Olson from Public Health.
Good morning. I'm Julia Olson, Public Health Supervisor at Public Health Madison and Dane County. I'm here today to talk about our newly released overdose fatality review report. But first, I just want to take a moment to orient us to a quick COVID update. 2 weeks ago, Dane County was upgraded to the medium level of COVID activity. That's according to the Centers for Disease Control community levels. The CDC looks at several metrics surrounding cases and hospitalizations to make this classification. Dane County is currently seeing a higher number of cases, which help push us from low to medium. However, hospitalizations continue to remain low. This is good news. This is likely the result of vaccine-confirmed immunity, immunity from previous infection, and treatment options that are available. So the increase is a cause for concern and caution, but not a cause for alarm. Being up to date on your vaccinations is the most important thing you can do to protect your health. If you have further questions regarding COVID, I encourage you to head to our website, publichealthmdc.com, or reach out to our communications team at phmedia@publichealthmdc.com. Now I want to switch gears to discuss the Dane County Overdose Fatality Review, or OFR. Over the past several months, our team had the unique opportunity to gather data, analyze trends, and hear real accounts from families affected by drug overdoses, develop recommendations for how to prevent future overdose deaths, and take action toward change. Public Health facilitated this collaborative initiative, motivated by the understanding that overdose deaths are 100% preventable. The review was informed by various experts, each committed to establishing programs and policies to help improve outcomes for individuals who use drugs. As part of the review process, the OFR team reviewed data on overdose deaths from 2018 to 2020. 138 people lost their lives to drug overdoses in 2020, which is a 38% increase from 2016. The highest loss of life due to overdoses we've ever seen in Dane County, and all indications are that we have surpassed this number in 2021. Taking a closer look, the data uncovered a number of trends, including the continued presence and impact of opioids as the primary driver of drug overdose deaths, with nearly 90% of deaths involving an opioid. We also noted that deaths from synthetic opioids like fentanyl have increased rapidly in Dane County. The report also revealed rising racial inequities in overdose deaths. In 2018 to 2020, Black people were 3 times as likely to experience an overdose-related death compared to white people. The sharp increase in overdose evident over the past decade relate to long-standing inequities of higher policing, incarceration, and biased institutional policies, such as communities of color receiving harsher sentences for drug-related law violations. This data represents real people who lived full, complicated lives and who were loved. Our team interviewed their families affected by drug overdose to help gain insight that we know we never could get from medical records or criminal reports. Their voices are heard throughout our report, sharing their memories, their frustrations, and their hopes for the future. So we gathered all the data and we analyzed trends, but we know that identifying a problem is just the first step towards creating change. Our team then developed a number of recommendations, including decriminalizing addiction, expanding harm reduction services, reducing barriers to access to care, and preventing substance use. Public health and OFR partners are working together to implement these recommendations in an effort to stop future overdose deaths. Public health is actively promoting Never Use Alone initiative and the Behavioral Health Resource Center. The BHRC helps connect Dane County residents to resources for mental health and substance abuse needs. Public health also provides support and technical assistance to all prevention coalitions engaged in the Prevention Alliance of Dane County. We will also move towards creating a countywide leave behind program. The program will be a partnership between public health and local EMS providers. Paramedics are given overdose prevention kits to distribute to people who have survived an overdose. The kits include 2 doses of Narcan, a CPR breathing mask, a pair of gloves, fentanyl test strip kits, and other resources for treatment or recovery. With increased awareness of treatment services, we will see overdose fatalities decrease, as well increased awareness and access to Narcan and utilization of harm reduction services, a strategy we have seen success in other areas of the country. The overdose epidemic in this country is more than just a law enforcement, a treatment, or a healthcare issue to fix. To stop deaths in our community, we need multiple agencies and multiple partners to collaborate and cooperate to make change across all systems for people who use drugs and all the systems they interact with. Public health remains committed to continuing our critical role in that process. The full overdose fatality review report is currently published on our website. You can view it at publichealthmdc.com/overdose prevention. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. I encourage anyone who is struggling with addiction or who's a family member or friend is struggling to please reach out and get the help that you need to recover. Now for something completely different, we're going to hear from Greg Fries from the Engineering Division about the ever-popular topic of medians.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Greg Fries. I am the Deputy City Engineer for the Engineering Division, and I wanted to take a moment today to go through some details on what is being proposed for the median conversion project. There we go. Okay, so a little bit of detail. The kind of the reason why for this is for the 2022 operating budget, the funding for that was reduced from $165,000 to $86,000 for budget restraint, and that is to maintain approximately 200 planted bed medians in the city. As you'll see, we have over 650 planted bed medians in the city, so this is a relatively, we maintain about a third, little less than a third of the planted beds that we have in the city under contract. Our proposal is to convert 25 of those medians to concrete and 60 of those planted medians to turf. And that second one is a little misleading because it sounds like the entire median is planted. In fact, as you'll see, I have a few pictures. We're really proposing to do is remove planting beds within primarily turf medians. So this is just a slide to kind of show you where those medians are distributed. The box in red on the left of the screen is the portion that we're talking about, which is the medians that are under contract. As you go through the remainder of the slide, you can see we have medians that are maintained by city engineering crews, we have medians that are maintained by neighborhood associations, and we have medians that are maintained through our Adopt a Median program. So what this proposal impacts is only the medians that are maintained under contract. Okay, and so just a couple of examples here to keep this relatively brief. Here's some examples of the medians that we are proposing to turn to concrete. So you can see in the inset shows a recent picture of the actual median, and the background picture and the highlighted median area shows where that median is in physical space. So this is on East Washington near 2nd Street, for example. And here's another couple pieces and what those medians, what their current condition is. One is obviously right by Monona Terrace, and then there was another one on East Washington. Some examples of what we were talking about converting to turf grass. I'll be honest, when I first looked at this one, it looked like turf grass to me already, but there is actually a planting bed in there that could not be maintained last year. We had to end a contract last year, and that median happened to be full of ornamental grass, and it got too tall. It was causing a vision hazard, so engineering crews had to go and mow it down. And here's a couple more examples. Again, like on John Nolan Drive, the bottom part of the screen here, what you see, that is a median planting strip or bed in the middle of turf around it, and we would convert that back to turf fully. So that is actually all I have. I will be happy to take additional questions later. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. I'm sure folks will have questions, but I think there's a few takeaways here that are important, and this information is available, I believe, on the engineering website, but also from my office. It's a very, very small percentage of medians that are actually being converted to concrete. Overall, I think it's 4%. The medians that are moving from planting beds to turf is only about 10% of all of our medians. And don't worry, we're not touching the medians that are in your neighborhood that your neighbors or perhaps you might be planting and taking care of via the Adopt a Median program. So if folks are interested in planted medians, really encourage you to visit the engineering site and check out the Adopt a Median program. And we're always looking for people to take care of those little islands and medians that are in your neighborhood. And while some folks are doing a great job, there's plenty of medians out there that haven't been adopted yet, and we'd love to get you to engage in that way. All right, our next guest is Ben Zellers from our planning division to talk about transit-oriented development.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm here to talk about transit-oriented development overlay zoning. This is a somewhat technical topic, but just cover some of the basics for those who are looking to get familiar with this idea and process. This is a process that is really being done in concert with, alongside the bus rapid transit planning and implementation. Shown here is the east-west line for BRT in red. Then it's also being done alongside the draft Metro Transit Network redesign, which is progressing towards public hearings, I believe, late this month. So as far as TOD, transit-oriented development, that is pedestrian-oriented, compact, mixed-use development that's centered on quality public transit. Zoning, as many people know, is a city ordinance that regulates allowed land uses, building heights, building setbacks, and other aspects of development. And then overlay zoning is something that is added to base zoning on top of base zoning to modify underlying regulations. This is something that the city already does for things like protecting wellheads from potential contamination. So transit-oriented development is something that was included in the city's 2018 comprehensive plan. We've just updated projections that were done as part of the comprehensive plan. We're estimating that the city will add over 100,000 new residents between 2020 and 2050. And the comprehensive plan really guides us in where we want to try to accommodate most of those residents, and that is to concentrate the highest intensity development along transit corridors, downtown, and at activity centers. And then there's a specific action related to that for implementing TOD, transit-oriented development overlay zoning. Just a quick look at why we're looking at TOD. TOD overlay district for Madison is one method really to encourage denser development close to transit and the significant investments the city is making in transit, which makes it easier for more residents and employees to ride the bus. So we have seen a fair amount of transit-oriented development on the Isthmus and downtown already, just over the past 5 years. But there are some other areas along that approved east-west bus rapid transit line, as well as frequent transit service in other areas that have not seen as much development. And so the hope and the plan and expectation for TOD overlay zoning is to open up more areas for transit-oriented development along those transit lines. So working with the Plan Commission and under their guidance, city staff has developed a draft TOD overlay area shown in this map. Dark purple being kind of phase one along the approved east-west BRT line, lighter purple being potential future areas as well along other high-frequency transit service. And so this is a fairly significant portion of the city. It's about 12.4 square miles, about 15% of the city's area. And so this is an area where TOD would be implemented potentially down the line. As far as what potential changes to underlying zoning would be considered, really we're looking at allowing for more intensive redevelopment within the overlay through a few different changes, as well as promoting transit over automobiles within the overlay, again through some other tweaks and adjustments to the underlying zoning. So we want to make sure that folks who are interested are aware of this process, and so we're holding a series of public meetings, all with the same itinerary, two of them on May 11th at noon and 6 p.m., and then another two on May 16th, again at noon and 6 p.m. And so we're encouraging folks who are interested to visit the project website to sign up for those meetings. We're certainly available to take questions here today and then through the project website as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. I hope folks will take a look at that and engage in those meetings and learn more about the project. I think it's a very exciting prospect for our city. All right, lots to cover. I'm going to try and go pretty fast here, but first, and perhaps in the most geekily important category, the corpse flower is blooming at Olbrich. Go today. Olbrich is open until 7 p.m. There's a lot of people there waiting to get their sniff of this flower, but I saw it this morning and it's really impressive and definitely worth seeing in person. So if you are into flowers, if you're into botany, if you're into things that smell icky, this is your opportunity to go visit Olbrich and check it out. Again, they're open until 7 p.m. All right, speaking of stinky things, this morning, our fantastic engineering crews cleaned up a sewer overflow on the southwest side. Happy to report that it is all cleared and properly cleaned as of early this morning. And I want to thank the crews for responding so quickly. I want to note that they, after they cleaned it up, they actually sent one of our cameras down the pipes to inspect for the cause of this backup and overflow, and they discovered that the blockage was caused by so-called flushable wipes. So, word to the wise, wipes are not actually flushable. Please do not flush them, and you can help us prevent backups. In something completely different, I'm proud to say the City of Madison has been officially recognized as a Vision Zero community. We're proud to be recognized by the Vision Zero Network because we know that the speed reductions, changes in street design, and public engagement have a direct impact on the reduction of traffic-related deaths and serious injuries. And our Vision Zero plan is focused on exactly that. We'll have the ability to learn from projects and outcomes in other cities in the Vision Zero network, which is always a great thing. So thanks to the Vision Zero network, and thanks particularly to Madison's Vision Zero team for all of the work that you've done. You can learn more about Vision Zero at cityofmadison.com/Vision Zero. That's all spelled out. Fun things going on, and my apologies, these are in absolutely no order because there's so many of them. But this Friday is Madison's Spring Gallery Night. Gallery Nights are organized by the Madison Museum of Contemporary Art. They're a great opportunity to get out there and to appreciate art, to celebrate local artists, and maybe even buy some art for yourself or a family member or friend. So check that out on Friday. Lots of things going on, including at Olbrich. But alas, I'm pretty sure the corpse flower will not be blooming anymore by then. You never know, you could try. So check that out. Gallery Night's always a fun time. We are focusing on the reduction of food waste here in the City of Madison. According to a DNR study, food waste makes up 20% of the trash that heads to our landfills, which is really not okay. So the city is committed to reducing food scraps that are going to the landfill, and you can help us reach this goal. There's 4 simple steps. Have a plan for your meals. Use the food that you have already and store it correctly so it lasts longer. Create additional opportunities for food to actually be eaten rather than trashed. There's all sorts of fantastic recipes out there that are focused on how do I use this leftover thing? And then finally, if you do have food waste, make sure that you're composting it and not putting it into the landfill. To that end, I'm happy to announce that we have our first farmers market drop-off site for food scraps at the South Madison Farmers Market on Tuesday evening starting on June 14th. And we are, of course, working on many more ways to support people composting if they're not able to compost in their own backyards. And you can learn more about that through our sustainability staff on the mayor's website. I want to recognize some awards that our engineering division, our facilities folks got. We got the Outstanding Design Award in 2022. It's the Award of Excellence in the service category for the Madison Public Library Pinney Library. Congratulations to the team that worked on that. Our fleet shop out at Nakusa Trail got the Engineering Excellence and Best of State Award from the American Council of Engineering Companies in Wisconsin. Congratulations to that team. We're very proud of that facility. It's awesome. And the Gates of Heaven Synagogue project got the 2022 Historic Preservation Award for Preservation from the Madison Trust. And so congratulations to that team as well. Always nice to see Team City be recognized for their good work. It is spring, and here in the City of Madison, we are reaffirming our commitment to support pollinator health. The City Council has authorized us to take the Mayor's Monarch Pledge, and we are re-upping our commitment to be a Bee City USA. This means a lot of different things. It's education, it's having plant sales, collecting native seeds, installing rain gardens and pollinator plantings, and controlling invasive species across the lands that the city manages. So we're excited about that. You can help. Take it easy on your lawn this May. The pollinators, we've had a really late spring, so the pollinators are working their way out, but they need food resources and they need places to live until they can get well established. So maybe you want to hold off on mowing a little bit, and maybe you want to think about planting some native plants into your garden this spring to help those pollinators. I want to congratulate the 2022 Neighborhood Grant Award recipients. This is a program that helps provide small grants to neighborhoods to help beautify, to create public gathering places, or to build their organizational capacity and leadership skills. Since 1999, when the program began, we have funded over 250 projects across the city. This year, the awardees included 2 nonprofits and 5 neighborhood associations. You know who you are, and congratulations to all of this year's awardees. Also, because it's getting to be spring-like and sunny, it's time to talk about our Madison program. We did a nice launch a few weeks ago. This is the 7th year of the Madison program that helps homes, businesses, and affordable housing providers and nonprofits go solar. This year, our backyard solar program grants are increasing by $10,000 from $40,000 to $50,000, and those are for community-based organizations to be able to install on-site solar. And we're always looking for folks to do that. Our Solar for Business program, which connects Madison-based businesses with local solar developers, has also been revamped. The grants are now $150 per kilowatt hour through this program. And we already have 19 local businesses that have installed or will install solar through this program. So if your business is interested in going solar, it's a great opportunity for you. And then finally, for homes, our residential solar program provides access to solar contractors at an affordable price. And this is a bulk buy program. And if you don't already have solar, you should check out whether your roof would work for it and enroll in the Madison program. Since 2016, we have spurred approximately $6 million in renewable energy investments in our community, which is nearly 3 megawatts of solar thanks to all of these programs. You can find out much more at Madison, that's S-U-N, madisonsolar.com. Check it out. All right, we have some street closures coming up. It is not just spring, but also construction season. Starting on May 18th, which is a Wednesday, you'll see lane closures on University Ave between Shorewood Boulevard and University Bay Drive. This project is going to be a 2-year project, so you'll have different lanes closed at different times. This year, the work will be on the westbound lanes, and so both directions of traffic will be in the existing eastbound lanes. So keep your eyes out for that and drive safely. Also, street closures. Hughes Place is closed at South Park Street until about 5 p.m. on May 20th. The sidewalk on the south side of the street will remain open. Old Middleton Road, starting on the April 25th, work began. There's a number of traffic impacts that are related to this one, too many for me to go through, but just be careful in that area. And please note that Metro Transit is detouring eastbound Route 15 to Regent Street during this project. If you've been out Atwood, go see the corpse flower. There is a lane closure already underway for MG&E that reduces Atwood Ave to 1 lane in each direction between Fair Oaks and Oak Ridge. It's not actually that bad. It's only going to be about 3 weeks. So in general, remember it's construction season and be careful out there. Watch your speed and watch where you're going. More fun things going on. The Madison Public Library's Library Takeover program is having its final event of the 2022 season on Saturday, May 14th at Lisa Link Peace Park on State Street from 4 to 6 p.m. The event is called Essential: True Stories of Unseen Work, and it's an opportunity for people to share their stories from the pandemic and beyond. People from all walks of life, especially essential workers, are invited to attend and share a 5-minute story open mic style. Thanks to the Madison Public Library Foundation for funding it, and thanks to Downtown Madison, Inc. for partnering on that. You can find out much more at madpl.org. All right, also spring yard waste collection is complete. Do not set out your yard waste for pickup on the curb until the fall. Please use the drop-off sites instead. Our streets collection, our fabulous and talented Streets Division collection crews have completed all of the spring yard waste collection rounds. So you should try composting it instead, or of course, see one of our drop-offs, and you can find out much more at the Streets Division website. Not quite summer yet, but it is already time to start thinking about swimming and going to the pool. And it is time to think about if your kid is interested in the Goodman Waves swim and dive team. This is not a learn to swim program. This is a program for kids who are able to swim 25 meters and who feel comfortable in the deep end. You can register now at goodmanwaves.com. And thanks to the Goodman Foundation and the Madison Parks Foundation, there are scholarships available. This is a local recreational summer swim and dive program, and they end up competing in the All-City Swim and Dive League. So if you've got a swimmer, you might want to check that out. We're happy to welcome to Team City Rebecca Hoyt, who is our new Disability Rights and Services Specialist in the Department of Civil Rights. We are delighted to have her on board and look forward to working with her. And alas, we are saying goodbye to a couple of people from Team City. Alders Lindsay Lemmer and Christian Alburis have announced that they are stepping down from the Madison Common Council. Alder Lemmer will be leaving on May 24th, and Alder Alburis will be leaving on May 20th. Both those vacancies will be appointed by the council by the same process, but on a slightly different timeline. So the vacancies for District 3, which is Alder Lemmer's seat, the application process is open now. So if you live in District 3, you are invited to apply to fill this vacancy for the remainder of the term, which ends on April 18th, 2023. The process is an application and then an interview at a special Common Council Executive Committee meeting on May 17th at 6 p.m. That committee will make a recommendation to the council, and on May 24th, the council will appoint an interim District 3 alderperson to begin serving immediately. If you are interested, you should email an application to ccec@cityofmadison.com before 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, May 11th. And you can find out much more from the council office or on the city council website. So again, same process for the District 20 vacancy, which is Alder Alburis's district, but it will be on a different time frame, and they will announce that time frame soon. Also leaving Team City is our now retired city engineer, Rob Phillips, after 33 years. We miss him already, but we wish him the best in retirement. And I'm really happy to say that we are naming a bridge after him. It's very appropriate. The new Wingra Cannonball Path Bridge over Wingra Creek, just east of Fish Hatch Road, will be named the Robert F. Phillips Jr. Bridge to honor our retired city engineer. Congratulations, Rob. And next time you're out biking, check it out. Also in the engineering division, I'm really happy to say that we are now allowing the use of low carbon concrete in the construction of public sidewalks, curb and gutter, thanks to the work and passion of some local Girl Scout troops. So never let anyone tell you that Girl Scouts can't change the world. This is important because concrete is actually a pretty significant source of carbon dioxide emissions. And of course, we need to lower those emissions to fight back against climate change. And we were absolutely delighted to host Girl Scout troops 1477 and 1952 of the Badgerland Council. Also with Carbon Cure Technologies and Wingrestone and Ready Mix over at Engineering, where we actually poured some low carbon concrete, learned all about it. They were very impressive young women, and they really have made a difference in what our engineering division is going to do going forward. Also trying to take care of the environment, we are looking to do a sole source contract to help the Madison Water Utility develop a treatment design for well 15 to remove PFAS from that well. We're hoping to take advantage of funding from the bipartisan infrastructure law, and so we need a treatment design in order to apply for that money. This is really important. PFAS is a huge issue all across the state and across the country. We need to know how we can remove it from our water, and so this is the first step in doing that, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to secure federal funding to help with it. Also in the fun category, concerts on the rooftop at Monona Terrace are back. You can find out way more at mononaterrace.com/concerts. They are on the following dates from 7 to 9 p.m. June 9th, June 16th, June 23rd, June 30th, and July 7th. And then special 25th anniversary celebration Saturday, July 23rd, starting at 6 p.m. for Monona Terrace. Again, that website is mononaterrace.com/concerts. Finally, community resources. As always, if you or your family are in need, call 211 or text your zip code to 898-211 to get connected to food, housing, healthcare resources, or other social services in our community. It's important to reach out when you need help. And to find out more about all the things I just talked about, you can subscribe to my blog at cityofmadison.com/mayor/blog. Finally, meetings coming up. Today at 5, the Madison Public Library Board. Friday the 6th at 3, the Police and Fire Commission. Monday the 9th at 5:30, the Plan Commission. Tuesday the 10th at 6:30, the Common Council. Wednesday the 11th at 5, the Transportation Commission. Monday the 16th at 4:30, the Finance Committee. And Wednesday the 18th at 5 p.m., the Economic Development Committee. All of those and many more meetings are on the city's website. Click on the meetings link. You can find all of the agendas, minutes from past meetings, how to sign up to watch or give testimony at any of them. And that is what I have got. That was a record run through a number of things. I'm sure we have questions about something today.
Good morning, Mayor. Indeed, we have one question for public health.
All right. Julia, come on back up.
Good morning, Julia. And the question for you is, how crucial are EMT and EMS workers in trying to save lives of individuals experiencing an overdose? Is there anything they could do differently to help decrease the number of deaths?
EMS and EMTs and EMTs are crucial in the response to saving lives. When we looked at people who died in 2020 due to an overdose, 1 in 3 had an encounter with EMS in the past year. Every interaction with a system of care is an opportunity to save someone's life. Right now, the only opportunity EMS really has is to take someone to the hospital or kind of leave them be after they've done their work. The Leave Behind program would let EMS be able to do more work to intervene, providing life-saving medications like naloxone, fentanyl test strips, and information on safer drug use and recovery and treatment resources. We also saw that medical systems would be able to play a large role in responding to overdose deaths and saving lives. Almost half of the people who died in 2020 due to an overdose had an encounter in the emergency room in 2020. Whether that was for a non-fatal overdose or for something else. So screening for substance use needs when someone is in the emergency department and referring people to resources like ED to Recovery, where they could be connected to the recovery coaches from Safe Communities consistently for support, and providing those folks with naloxone when they're in the emergency department would go a long way to save lives.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
Those are the questions for today.
All right. Well, thank you all very much. Lots of information coming at you this time. Remember, there's always more on the city's website, cityofmadison.com. And get out there, go visit that corpse flower or any other flower that are now blooming all around the city. Enjoy your spring. Take care.